Welcome back. It's 1 o'clock on Three Man Front. Thanks for tuning us in on this Wednesday. We had promoted last night and earlier this morning that Moose Johnston from the UFL, he was scheduled to be on our program. Moments before we came on the air this morning, we were notified by the UFL that Moose Johnston was no longer available for an interview. So hopefully, maybe in the coming days, we'll have the opportunity to have a frank discussion with the Vice President of Operations at the UFL. But unfortunately, Landrum, we have to report, as of this moment, it does not look like that's going to happen.
Cut Moose loose. Let him come on the show. It just feels like he was asked not to come on the show. That's what it feels like.
So it seems like.
I get feelings.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
Well, one thing that you cannot be wrong about, and that is heading to Courtesy GMC in Trustful. School's back in session, and it's time to roll into the new season in style. Brand new pricing has been updated. How about this? $17,000 off an all-new GMC Sierra 1500. Save up to $13,000 off powerful Sierra 2500 HDs. I've owned a few Yukons in my lifetime, and you know that SUV outperforms every other SUV in its class. You can save up to $5,000 off every Yukon, Yukon XL, and how about the all-new 2026 Acadia? My parents took their Terrain to Courtesy GMC this morning to get their oil changed. I've bought new tires there at Courtesy GMC. Award-winning service department. Body shop is outstanding. Go by and see what I've been talking about for a very long time, and that is Courtesy GMC in Trustful, where it's home of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Hurry into Courtesy GMC in Trustful today for all your vehicle needs. They've got 9 acres of inventory, including 30 certified pre-owned vehicles ready to move as we speak. Right off of I-459 exit 32, or you can visit them online at courtesybirmingham.com. So a story came out of all places, Athens, Georgia yesterday. Kirby Smart was meeting with the media, and we've talked a lot about the Big Ten proposal for an expanded college football playoff. We'll take a listen to the current head football coach of the University of Georgia, what he had to say about the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm probably like most people in the majority of I would love to be able to expand the playoffs if it's done the right way in terms of giving more teams opportunity. I think that's what fan bases want. People are not excited about a mid-tier bowl game at some of these programs they're at. I think those bowl games are great experiences. I played in them. I've coached in them. I love them as an opportunity. But the more teams you give an opportunity to decide things on the field, like you do, whether it's college basketball, high school football, old 1AA football, back when they had the playoff. I mean, you're going to get things decided on the grass. So, yeah, I'd be for that. And you say, well, what about the championship games? I love the championship games. Can you have your cake and eat it too? Can you move the season up, start it, get it done? If you can't and you can only have one of those two, I don't know which one I would pick because it would probably depend on the format.
Mike Griffith coming up with a big, great question to Kirby Smart, and Kirby answering it the way he did. Kind of surprising.
It is surprising, but it's also frustrating because it really doesn't kind of lay out any. We're seems like we get a good idea, and it seems like something's trending, and then we get back to our original starting place, and it's all right. What's good for everybody?
Well, there's
nothing that's good for everybody.
It's just funny because he's in favor of expanding the playoff, but he likes the bowl games. He likes conference championship games. But if you can somehow find a way to make it work, that'd be fine. But if he had to pick between, well, keeping the format the way it is or expanding the playoff and getting rid of conference tournament or conference championship games, well, he doesn't know which one he would decide. It's just, so you want the playoffs to expand, but you don't have any thoughts on the format or what you would prefer. I don't know. It's just kind of bizarre.
Kind of surprising, to be honest with you, that he even voiced an opinion. And that's not a shot at him. I'm just saying we're just so programmed to coach speak. Mm-hmm. And we're not used to any of them really giving us their honest thoughts.
No,
unless it's Eli Drinkwitz.
Eli Drinkwitz, he's always good for some honesty. But for a coach like Kirby Smart to say what he said, yeah. And hopefully we get there, but I don't see ever a solution that everybody's going to agree on. So different strokes, different folks. It's all relative, but how it affects A school from the SEC is going to affect a school potentially from the Big 12, the ACC, the Mountain West, the list goes on, much differently. I don't know if we ever come to, hey, this is perfect. Why didn't we think of this earlier?
What difference does it make? Because you could have a team now that just declared themselves a national champion.
This is true.
And they don't have to go to a college football playoff.
You can do it. You don't get the money for it. You pay money to put it up in your stadium.
Yeah.
And you get to drive rival fan bases crazy with it. Which, speaking of, text comes in from New Mexico. Speaking of New Mexico. The text reads, you guys have a great show, but I believe you're too close to the Alabama trees to see the NCAA forest. NCAA, with the Michigan ruling of keeping their championship while obviously cheating, expanded the definition of championships this year to allow cheaters to claim championships. And Auburn is just applying today's NCAA standards to all time.
That's an interesting angle. I hadn't thought about it like that.
And neither.
I mean, yeah. Hey, Michigan can claim 2023 as a championship, then
This
who
is
should
the
stop you from claiming your team's championship?
This is the Houston Astros rule.
Well, at least, the NCAA, gave Michigan a slap on the wrist. Rob Manfred, they gave the Astros a kiss on the lips after their cheating scandal. He didn't do crap. Oh, wait, they had to fire their manager, who now manages the best team in the American League yet again. Oh,
That's
my
right.
God.
Do you think there's any cheating going on in Detroit?
Yes, obviously. Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yeah.
No, you can learn.
Mm.
People change.
Nah, not him.
So speaking of Rob Manfred, did you miss this the other night during the Little League weekend? This next comment by Rob Manfred has a lot of people in baseball really scratching their head wondering what's next.
I think if we expand, it provides us with an opportunity to geographically realign. I think we could save a lot of wear and tear on our players in terms of travel. And I think our postseason format would be even more appealing for, entities like ESPN, because you'd be playing up out of the East, out of the West, and that 10 o'clock time slot where we, sometimes get Boston, Anaheim, would be two West Coast teams, and that 10 o'clock slot that's a problem for us sometimes becomes a real opportunity for our West Coast audience. So I think, I think the owners realize that there's demand for Major League Baseball in a lot of great cities, and that we have an opportunity to do something good around that expansion process.
2 years ago, I was having lunch with someone in Major League Baseball, and they predicted that this was going to happen by the end of this decade. And I said, what do you mean? What's going to happen? He said, well, before Rob Manfred retires, and he's already announced that he will be exiting in the next couple of years.
Yay.
He is going to reposition Major League Baseball. Probably going to look at a couple of expansion franchises, and then he is going to fix the divisional problem. And I said, well, what's the divisional problem? He said, well, not so much a National American League thing. He is basically going to put the Yankees and the Mets in the same division. They're going to put the White Sox and the Cubs in the same division, Angels, Dodgers, and so forth. And I said, okay, so you're going to do away with the American and National Leagues? Yes. And I said, so you're going to have 32 teams, and you're going to have 8 4-team divisions? And he said, yes. I said, interesting. So over the last 48 hours, there have been multiple. Molly was just showing me one from Fox Sports. The breakdown of the new divisions. The Athletic has one that was out. I've even seen one proposal that there's no more. It's not called the American League and it's not called the National League. It's going to be called the East and the West. It's going to be like the stupid NBA.
Why can we not just keep American and National League?
Apparently, that's one of Rob Manfred's big ideas.
Okay.
That there will not be a National League, will not be an American League. It will be East and West. And so I'm sitting here looking at one of the projections, and it has Nashville getting a team. So the Braves would be in what they are calling the National League South. That's if the National League name stays.
I like it. I like it already.
It would be Miami, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and Nashville.
Yes.
That would be the National League South. The National League East,
Or the heartbeat of baseball.
where the Braves currently are in, would be the Mets, Phillies, Nationals, and Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, keep them up there. Like an old pair of shoes you don't want to wear.
The National League North, Milwaukee Cubs, Reds, Cardinals.
Okay.
And the National League West would be San Francisco, Dodgers, Arizona, and San Diego. So
you get White Sox, you get Brewers, you get Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
You're good with that, right?
Which means the Colorado Rockies would then be sent to the American League.
I thought you were going to say the minors.
Well, that too.
They've been relegated.
So basically, the American League East would be Boston, Yankees, Blue Jays, Orioles.
NL South.
Then the American League North would be Minnesota, Detroit, Cleveland, and the White Sox.
Okay.
The American League South would be Colorado, Kansas City, Texas, and Houston.
They just had to put Colorado somewhere, didn't they?
The American League West would consist of Seattle, Portland or Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, and the Angels. That would be based on the Athletics projection.
It'd also be the worst division in baseball.
Well, it'd be an interesting collection of fan bases.
Ooh, okay.
But I was told 2 years ago, and now it's all playing out. You just heard what Rob Manfred said Sunday night in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I've got news for the commissioner. There's going to be a work stoppage. We're not going to have baseball in 2027. So enjoy your baseball while you can get it.
Do you think that is going to take over the entire season, though?
Absolutely.
So you don't think we'll have a season at all in 2027?
It will be shut down, and this will be the one that will hopefully propel the league.
This is the salary cap discussion, right?
Yes, this is the big one.
Are we going to have scabs, or are we going to have to watch Korean
No,
baseball?
You're going to have to watch Korean baseball or the Mexican League.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, this one's going to hurt. This one's going to be as bad. The last one was bad, if you remember.
How many games do the Savannah Bananas play?
Too many. They play a lot of games.
I'm going to invest now. Their stock is going to soar.
Yeah, this is going to be.
So that affects minor leagues too, right?
Yeah, because Major League Baseball owns minor league baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. Just go ahead and get ready.
It's almost like
And
they
then,
have a year and a half head start to go ahead and start working on this right now.
And how much you want to
figure
bet?
something out.
Right?
Oh.
Part of the negotiations, Major League Baseball is going to force this realignment.
I could see that, and I'm okay with realignment.
And that's
I
going to
don't
be
hate
a
that.
caveat, which is, hey, we're going to give you 2 more teams. Because that's like, think about it, from A ball up to the majors, the number of jobs that they're going to create for the union.
I love having the Nashville option though.
Yeah,
I like that.
I would love a team in Nashville.
2 drivable cities.
Yeah, no, that would be fantastic. But I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago, though, too, with the whole lockout thing is if you're going to do a salary cap, there also needs to be the minimum salary cap where you don't have these franchises that are paying $45 million for an entire payroll and they're just not competitive.
Yeah.
You just can't have that.
Like the A's and the Pirates.
Yeah, can't keep doing that.
Yeah. Or move those. Maybe Rapoli will buy into Major League Baseball. Maybe he'll give the Pirates and the A's maybe the same type of ultimatum he gave us.
Why don't you do away with substance abuse testing and bring back spider tack? Would that help with the negotiations?
Yes, I would be okay with that.
I'm just looking for solutions a year and a half out.
Let's just try it for a year or two. See what
Yeah.
happens. I like that idea.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you're a baseball fan, you are heading directly into the sun because this is going to be bad. Really bad.
That's today's edition of Things Not to Look Forward to.
Yeah, 2027.
2027 is going to be a crap year, baseball fans.
Get ready for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk to Coach Bill Clark, former UAB, Jacksonville State head coach. He's going to be in studio. Got a special event coming up on Tuesday night at the Vestavia Hills Country Club. We'll talk to him. and also about the upcoming start of the college football season. That's all straight ahead on Three Man Front. It is 1:19. Welcome back. This is Three Man Front on Jocks. Appreciate everybody tuning us in on this Wednesday. Hope to see you tomorrow night if you were one of the lucky ones to win tickets to the Jocks kickoff party tomorrow night at Regions Field. Hope to see you there. Over the weekend, I was able to get out on my zero turn from R-Tech Tractor. You know, just north of Jasper on Highway 5 is R-Tech Tractor. They have been a long-standing sponsor here at Jocks, and let me tell you something. These people are incredible. Jeremy and Greg, when I was trying to make a decision on what I needed to do on my property, I called Jeremy, and he walked me through it. He sent me to rtechtractor.com. I picked out a couple of items, and he said, okay, let's talk about them. And he walked me through the whole process. And I was just so impressed with the knowledge and the way those guys were willing to help me out on my Toro. That's the one that I ended up getting because that was the one needed for my particular yard. But whether it's a Cub Cadet, Gravely, Bobcat, Spartan, if you need a tractor, Mahindra, or a Bobcat, everything from large home acreage to small homesteads to large farms and those hunting plots, they've got tons of opportunities and chances for you to get exactly what you need. Knowledgeable, the sales department, they're going to advise you on the purchase, the expert service department, years of experience. And right now, they're having a sale on their fluids and filters from now until the end of September. That's all oil filters and air filters, also engine oil and hydraulic oil. That's 15% off. So go by and see Jeremy and Greg and the great people there at R-Tech Tractor, just north of Jasper on Highway 5. That's rtechtractor.com.
He writes and we try to answer. This is Pat Ponders.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for Pat Ponders.
Brought to you by Courtesy GMC in Trustful. Get by and see them right off of I-459 exit 32 in Trustful. Question number 1. Dublin, Ireland is hosting the first game of the football season. I want you guys to name another foreign locale that would be cool to host a week 0 game.
Oh, they've done it before. Australia did that one down there one year.
Cal played there.
I want to see a game in Dubai.
Well, that'd be hot.
It'd be hot, but they could figure it out. They got plenty of money. You'd have the air cools going everywhere. They would build a dome just for that game.
See, that's kind of what I was thinking, like Dubai, Ibiza, somewhere over there where it's kind of like you go. It'd be more than just the football game, though, right? For the people that go, you turn into like kind of a luxury vacation experience type thing. So, yeah, I would go Dubai, Ibiza, somewhere over there. I think you could turn it into like a very good party atmosphere to pregame and everything. Yeah.
Japan.
The Far East.
I think Tokyo would be cool.
Can we keep it stateside if I had another idea? Alligator Alcatraz.
I will say one thing I think would be really cool because we've seen them do it with basketball, but obviously football would be much more difficult. But you know how they play the basketball games on the aircraft carrier? Oh, if you could do something like that. Now
that would be cool.
I don't.
And then tackling them off the
off the side of the ship.
the top deck of the
exactly.
ship.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
No, but something like that would be very, very cool if you could.
Quarterback leads a guy on a fade.
Large enough.
He just keeps running.
Well, I was wondering what happened, if somebody, lose a basketball off one of those. I'm sure that happened at some point, right?
Bring back Japan.
Yeah, they did. Didn't they do some Far East games back?
I think in like the 80s or the 90s. I know Nebraska played one of them.
Oh, did they
and
really?
That's why I said Japan.
Okay.
And I just think it'd be cool.
I vaguely remember them playing in Japan.
College football games in Asia all time. Let's see. Conrad, you see anything? Tokyo. Another notable game took place in Tokyo, Japan, where the University of Nebraska and Kansas State University faced off in the Coca-Cola Classic in 1992.
Bring it back.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say you had BYU played a couple exhibition games in the 70s. Utah State's been over there before. Okay, so you've got a little bit of a track record.
All right, question number 2. Bruce Feldman of The Athletic, he has listed 6 Southeastern Conference head coaches that are on a hot seat on a varying of temperatures. So when the season is said and done, how many SEC coaches will be fired at the end of the season? I didn't say leave under their own volition. I said fired.
Only one.
Okay.
Just because changing out,
And I'm not asking who it is.
changing out a
the
coaching
number.
staff, the contracts involved, the arms race, the revenue stream, money. Schools are just going to be more reluctant to cut ties, and they'll roll the dice with a transfer portal class for the next year.
I'm going to go 2, and I won't tell you exactly who I think, but when you just look at teams like a Kentucky, a Florida, and Oklahoma, where maybe if things really go south, you could see the coach getting fired.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's likely that at least one of those programs does not have the season that people are expecting, and well, not that people are expecting a lot for Kentucky, but yeah, I'll go. So one of those schools, and then Sam Pittman.
I was thinking 2, but I'm also thinking one getting fired and the other one just leaving. Maybe for a different opportunity or just they're done coaching. But to answer your question, my
Fired.
initial thought was 2.
Okay, so you and Conrad go 2, Landrum goes 1. These were the 6 coaches, according to Bruce Feldman, that is on a hot seat in varying degrees. Sam Pittman, Hugh Freeze, Billy Napier, Mark Stoops, Brian Kelly, Brent Venables.
Okay, yep, that's exactly who I would have said for the 6.
Yeah.
That checks out.
So those are the 6 that he says is on a proverbial hot seat.
Do we think Brian Kelly is the least likely of that group to get fired?
I do, just because of the amount of money they owe him.
Yeah, I agree.
Question number 3. Commissioner Greg Sankey recently told Paul Feinbaum that season 2 of Netflix documentary Any Given Saturday is possible. If it does come back, what programs are critical, in your opinion, for the project's success for a season 2?
Alabama and Georgia.
And Texas.
I want to see Florida, too.
All the ones that were not in there. You got to have the whole conference.
Well, yeah. Alabama would be number 1, though.
Alabama and Georgia, though, especially.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I think, yeah, if you're going to do it again and get people, convince people that weren't interested in this edition of it to tune into season 2, you're going to have Alabama, Georgia, and Texas.
And I think this docuseries, it needs some lane.
I agree.
That's a good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I might even go Ole Miss over Texas just because of what you would get from Lane Kiffin. Because I could see Texas being very like, we'll give you a little bit of a look in. But I think Lane Kiffin, I mean, he'd probably be an open book. That'd be quite entertaining. Was Missouri a part of it? They weren't a part of this one, were they? Mm-mm. See, that's another one. Kiffin and Drink, like that's where you're going to get the good stuff.
Yeah, Drink wouldn't let them in this year.
Yeah.
By the way, I did watch a few episodes of the Cowboys documentary.
I started that. I threw the first one. You know, I vaguely remember some of that, but man, that was
me too.
Very fascinating. Because I remember when he fired Tom Landry, that was
100,000 people showing up for a parade.
Yeah, for Tom Landry.
I had to watch that. I've been busy watching the Biggest Loser documentary, not the Dallas Cowboys.
Not fit for TV.
That's right.
Leanne's been watching that because she was a Biggest Loser fan when it was on. Yeah.
See, I vaguely remember the show growing up. It's interesting.
My mom and I used to watch it.
Was that the one? Was that the one that Roger Schultz was on?
Yeah, Roger Schultz.
Yeah.
Yep, sure was. Former Alabama player, former talk show host in Montgomery.
And then Robbie Rainbow here locally. Was that the same show, or was he at one of those other weight loss shows?
I don't know.
Homewood coach.
Question number 4. On this date in 1950, ABC Television was the first television network to begin Saturday morning programming for children, beginning with the informational program Animal Clinic. Was Saturday morning TV a must-see for you as a kid? And if so, what did you watch?
I watched it all. I got up so early as a kid.
On Saturday mornings?
Yes. I guess I was just excited. I don't know. I would get there before the actual cartoon started. So I'd be watching either the end of an infomercial or Cousin Cliff. Remember when that would come on here locally in Birmingham? Or I would get some out-of-market version of Country Boy Eddie.
A ripped-off version.
Well, yeah, they're all kind of sitting around, and you have people that come to the back door.
Oh, look who's stopping by.
Look who's stopping
Come
by.
on
How
in.
you doing? All right, let me play you a little diddle.
It'll probably be different for Conrad and Molly because the cartoons and Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and things like that. But for Saturday mornings, what did you do? Did you get up and watch anything?
Yeah, I remember vividly. There was a show called PB&J Otter that I watched all the time as a kid.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember what some of the other ones were, but that's the one that I always remember when I was about 4 years old. That's the first memory I have of waking up and watching Saturday morning cartoons and eating breakfast.
See, mine was always Tom and Jerry or Scooby-Doo. Those are my go-tos.
Good ones. Very good.
I've never heard of PB&J Otter.
It's a classic, Molly.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, my kids watched it.
It's about a bunch of otters, and all they do is make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all day.
Yep.
I've never heard of that.
It was a classic. I couldn't tell you what it's about, but I have vivid memories of what the characters look like.
All right, final question of today. It's courtesy of BB. BB, hope to see you tomorrow night. I think she won some tickets, if I'm not mistaken, for tomorrow night's get-together. What was the most difficult lesson you learned after moving out of your parents' house?
I think just general money management, and I think that's maybe too vague or too easy of one, but just having to like pay bills on time, just knowing that I was fully responsible. If I don't pay my electric bill this month, I'm not going to have power at my apartment in college. Like things like that you just don't really think about as a child, or most people don't have to think about as a child because your parents take care of it for you, and having all of that responsibility on my plate at one time, it's a transition.
It was the same for me. Just the revelation of how many things that I did not appreciate that instantly I started appreciating.
Yes.
And all of the things that were just unbeknownst to me that had always been taken care of that I didn't know played a factor in home ownership for me. It's like, wow, okay, better learn how to do that. Better learn how to do that. And I'm glad that I did.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people, I would argue I learned more from college just from having to learn how to be an adult than a lot of what you learn in a classroom.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of what college is learning how to be an adult.
I've always been a pretty independent person, but I learned a lot more independence in college because I was 15 hours away. Whereas a lot of my roommates, their parents were 15 to maybe an hour away. So, for example, my car breaks down. I call my dad. I said, Dad, my car broke. He was like, I'm sorry, but what do you want me to do about it? And I'm like, you know what? That's a good point. Give me 10 minutes. I'll call you back. And I figured it out. So just stuff like that you kind of take for granted in high school that you really have to, like changing a tire.
I was going to go, though, technically moving out of the house, but I moved out for college. But my first 2 quarters of college, I did not do really well at all. So my parents said, before they kick you out or you get put on suspension for academics, we're going to pull you out and you're going to reevaluate what it means to be a college student. So I went and worked for my stepdad in Limestone County, Alabama for 7 months, 80-hour weeks, hard labor. But it did make me appreciate when I went back to school, went to every class, paid attention, studied, and never made below a 3.0 after that.
As funny as it is, like looking back, and it was a horrible thing when it happened, the best thing that happened to me going to college, honestly, I think was falling down a cave and breaking my leg, because my first semester of college, I couldn't go to parties.
Yep.
I couldn't go and socialize and do a lot of those things. So I had to sit in a dorm room and learn how to study. And that helped me for the next 4 years, whereas I saw a lot of my friends that
would have helped me.
They got sucked into the college life very quickly, and it'll eat you up.
I needed a straitjacket my first 2 quarters.
That is today's Pat Ponders, brought to you by Courtesy GMC in Trussville. Get by and see them right off of I-459 exit 32. When we come back on Three Man Front, we've got a little bit of an update from the UFL. A writer in the state of Michigan might have some news about Boise getting a team and how that could affect Birmingham. That's next on Three Man Front. So originally we were scheduled to talk to Moose Johnston from the UFL, Vice President of Operations. Yesterday afternoon, we were asked, they reached out to us, the UFL, asked if we'd be interested in talking to Moose Johnston. We said, absolutely. We love Moose. Moose was a regular guest weekly on this radio show. It was actually 3 years ago, because 2 years ago, it's when we started the weekly hits with Skip Holtz.
When did Howie Long come in studio? 5 years ago?
That would have been about 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, Howie came in and hung out with me and Landrum one day. Great interview.
Yeah.
Anywho, we got a call, or actually we were communicated with minutes before we came on the air this morning to say that he would not be available to join the show today. So Mike T. Bell, who covers the Michigan Panthers in the UFL, he had tweeted into us here at the show, and he was telling us that a Boise State beat writer, BJ Rains, he is a very noted writer up in the Paradise Valley in the state of Idaho, and he has covered a lot of things with Boise, especially Boise State football. According to Mike T. Bell, BJ Rains went directly to the university, Boise State University, and confirmed that there will be no UFL for 2026 in Boise, Idaho. Remember, that was one of the cities that supposedly was going to be on the map to get one of these expansion franchises. Now, according to BJ Rains, there is a possibility of 2027 or later that Boise could find itself with a franchise. And then Mike Bell also brings up something that we've really never thought about. So they keep talking about the relocation, right? So what if they're talking about relocating, maybe not moving it out of the actual city, but moving it to a different venue? For example, he brought up in Houston, instead of playing at the home of the University of Houston Cougars, they could move to I'm not familiar with this. I suppose this is a soccer stadium. It's called Shell Energy Stadium. Yeah. I would suppose that that's a soccer venue.
Yes. It's home of the Houston Dynamo.
Okay.
Let's see. The Houston Dash and Texas Southern.
Okay. So that is one possibility that this individual that covers the Michigan Panthers brought up, that it could be simply maybe not, moving the Houston franchise out of Houston, but just moving it to a...
Tell you where you don't want to put it. Rice Stadium.
Yeah, that would not be good. So then the other question is, listen, I think what he means in Birmingham is if you don't sell the tickets, we're leaving. I don't think this is, okay, well, if you only sell 2,000 tickets, then we're going to relocate you to the Hoover Met. I think this is, Birmingham would be in the rearview mirror. That's just my opinion, if they don't get to that ticket amount. But just an interesting perspective that it has now been. And BJ Rains is a noted journalist in the state of Idaho. So if he went directly to Boise State and asked them, hey, what's up with this? And based on my conversation with Kevin Miller, who hosts the #1 radio show in Boise a couple weeks ago, he laughed at it. He was like, there's no way. He said, first off, I've heard nothing of Boise hosting the UFL. And second of all, Boise State football only sold 18,000 season tickets. They got a problem selling tickets to the biggest draw in the town. That's what the town's known for.
Saying they made the playoff last year. They were very good.
Yeah, they sold 18,000 season tickets, and now you want to put a UFL team there?
Hey, I got a solution. You get Mike Rapoli. Start sending texts threatening to take Bronco football away from those people. Buy your season tickets now.
We're going to move it to Pocatello. Yes, that's a real town in Idaho.
Oh, you couldn't have made that one up. Pocatello.
I think it's like the third or fourth largest in the state of Idaho. Why I know that, I have no idea.
Yeah, how do you know that?
That and the mole hole.
That's a good place to go. All right, when we come back, we will put a bow on this edition of Three Man Front, and it has been a Hall of Fame episode. This thing is, Conrad is going to slap a label on the cassette tape and send it to the Broadcasting Hall Museum in Chicago.
Do we have that potential story? Do you want to read that one? Yeah or nay?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Or we could just put Matt Moscona on loop for the last 17 minutes of the show.
People driving off the road and rage and anger, Pat. We don't need that.
I might need a goodies.
All right, more Three Man Front on Jocks.
145, three-man front here on this Wednesday edition. We got professional baseball, some going on right now, some coming up tonight. The Atlanta Braves comeback fashion last night over the White Sox, redeeming themselves. Hurst and Waldrop going today. How about our friends at Prize Picks, though? You can win money up to 2,000 times Your cash with Prize Picks, you just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. It's really simple to play. I play it, and so many other Jocks listeners took me on it beginning last football season. But it's a lot of sports, but football coming up naturally, college, professional ranks. You can dive in there. All kinds of different options. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash. While watching sports, you can join millions of users. Sign up today, and it's really simple. You download the Prize Picks app today, use code WJOX, get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WJOX to get $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. Tonight we will go professional baseball. Atlanta, Hurston Waldrop, the pride of the Florida Gators, trying to go 4-0. He's been very impressive in his first 3 starts. The stat projection for Hurston Waldrop, Conrad, Pat, Molly, if you want to play along, is 5 strikeouts, more or less tonight against the White Sox. 5 strikeouts. So far this season, he's pitched 17 innings. He has 17 strikeouts.
Pretty good ratio. I'm going to go more. If it's the White Sox.
Yeah, we'll go more.
All right, we're going to go more on that one. This one involving Conrad's team, the New York Yankees. Cam
Loss.
Schlitt.
Oh, that's not an option, right?
Cam Schlittler.
Good. Got to be careful with that one.
Really careful.
Where's he from? Is he from Germany?
I don't know, but I love him. He throws really fast.
Schlittler. I'm really tempting fate here. 4.5 strikeouts, more or less.
I'm going to go more.
All right.
Less.
Boo.
He's going to break his arm in the first inning.
I
Ooh.
probably will.
I like that. Well, not for him. I just like how you're going into the detail and you're calling that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I will ride with Pat didn't seem as serious as Conrad did with his prediction. I'll go with Conrad, the Yankees fan. So this is what happens if Cam Schlittler has 5 or more strikeouts and Hurston Waldrop has 6 or more strikeouts tonight. We're a winner. You can be a winner too. Prize Picks, run your game.
Have you seen something?
I have.
All right, let's do this. This is the worst thing that Conrad's seen.
This is the worst thing I've seen.
Been in quarantine and I need to get out and party. Woo! What's better than beach and a few drinks and Jeeps? Man, getting better than that. Law enforcement's definitely made their visitability and made people chill out and not be as crazy. The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all.
So with college starting back, I know Tuscaloosa at the University of Alabama, their classes start back today. I'm sure a lot of other colleges in that same boat. But maybe you have a kid in high school and you're getting ready for that college search and you want to know what are the safest and most dangerous college campuses that my child could potentially attend. Well, thanks to the Wasatch Defense Lawyers from Salt Lake City, Utah, they have been kind enough to collect data from around the country, and they have given us the 10 most dangerous as well as the 10 safest college towns in the United States. So do we want to start with the most dangerous or the most safe?
Safe.
Most safe. All right. So we're going to start out at number 10. And this is a big party school, but also the 10th safest college town, apparently, in the country is Morgantown, West Virginia.
They burn couches there.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise to me that one comes in at number 10. But at number 9, you have Madison, Wisconsin, obviously University of Wisconsin. At number 8, you have Corvallis, home to Oregon State. At number 7, we have Cambridge, Massachusetts, which is where MIT is located.
Okay.
At number 6... they may like to cheat, but they do it safely. Ann Arbor, Michigan comes in as the University of Michigan is number 6 on the list. Number 5, good news for Bill and Jordan. Chapel Hill is the 5th safest college town according to this
Jordan,
list.
keeping the peace.
At number 4, you have Pullman, Washington, the home of Washington State. And now the top 3 safest college towns in the country. You're going to have Amherst, Massachusetts. That is going to be the home of the University of Massachusetts Amherst. At number 2, you're going to have Princeton, New York. Obviously the home of Princeton University. And then the number 1, the safest college town in the country, according to Wasatch Defense Lawyers is Berkeley, California, for the University of Cal.
That
at
makes
Berkeley.
sense. They'll smoke a doobie on Doobie Hill.
That's right.
Chill out, make love, not war. That seems about right.
Now, how about the most dangerous? This is where things get a little more interesting.
Oh, please tell me there's not a lot of SEC.
Campus of USC, number 1.
Please tell me it's not a lot of SEC.
I'm at Southern California.
Oh, just wait, Pat. You're going to enjoy one of these.
Oh, boy.
All right, so we're going to start off at number 10.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Most dangerous college cities. No, but it is a Big Ten school.
Iowa City.
I will go Evanston, Illinois.
It is Bloomington, Indiana.
Oh, man.
Really?
Home of the Hoosiers.
I like Bloomington.
So this metric is based on...
Never been there, but it sounds so
It's
safe.
a really cool city.
It is the number of crimes per 10,000 people is how they are making this list. So, for example, Bloomington, Indiana, 85 crimes per 10,000 people. That's their metric. All right, number 9, East Lansing, Michigan State is the 9th most dangerous college town. Number 8, Cedar City, Utah.
Yeah, not going there.
The home of Southern Utah. Number 7, I think Molly was the one that just said this one, Iowa City. The home of the University of Iowa.
The salad bars.
The mile-long salad bar.
Well, there's a lot of Big Ten cities in the worst.
Yes, there are.
I'm kind of surprised by that one, too.
Just wait a second.
Oh.
Number 6, we're going to go to Logan, Utah, which is the home of Utah State. So now the top 5.
I didn't know that there's 2 really dangerous
In Utah.
college towns.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
I wouldn't either.
But now we have the 5 most dangerous college cities in America. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Don't tell me they're all SEC schools.
They are not,
Okay.
but there are some. Number 5, Ithaca, New York, the home of Cornell.
Ivy League.
Big Red.
So Princeton, New York was the second safest
That's
college
Princeton,
town.
New Jersey.
And now, well, it says New York in here.
That's
but okay,
wrong.
There you go.
It's New Jersey.
Get him, Pat.
Thank you for the clarification there, Pat. So number 5 was Ithaca, New York, home of Cornell. Number 4, New Haven, Connecticut, another Ivy League school, this time Yale. And now the top 3. This is where it gets really good. So we've got 2 SEC schools and 1 not SEC school. And that would be at number 3, Tempe, Arizona, Arizona State, the 3rd most dangerous college city in America with 136 crimes reported per 10,000 residents.
Recount.
I was just thinking.
That was Phoenix. They had bled over into Tempe.
I was thinking that was maybe a stat that came from the health department.
Not the lazy river.
Yeah, exactly.
And so now taking the 2 top spots, the fine representatives from the Southeastern Conference, starting off the 2nd most dangerous college town in the country, right down the street in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as Tuscaloosa is named the 2nd most dangerous city with 149 crimes per 10,000 people. I can already imagine the jokes that are being made on the text line right now. And then
you don't want to claim that one.
No. And number 1, any guesses? It is an SEC school, the most dangerous college town in the country.
Florida.
Any other guesses? Are we all going Gainesville?
My guess was Gainesville.
Landrum?
Yeah, I would go. I think I'm going to go Gainesville, but I would say maybe Baton Rouge.
It is Gainesville, Florida, the most dangerous college town in the country, according to Wasatch Defense Lawyers, with 179 crimes per 10,000 people. So a quick recap there. The 3 safest college towns in the country: Amherst, Massachusetts, for the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Number 2 was Princeton. And then number 1 was Berkeley, California, for University of Cal at Berkeley. And then your 3 most dangerous college cities: Tempe, Arizona, for Arizona State; Tuscaloosa, Alabama; and then Gainesville, Florida, and the University of Florida came in as the most dangerous.
Well,
can you back up that stat in Tuscaloosa? Did you ever witness a lot of...
Not the kind that I think is being reported on this list, no. But I think like any college campus, you can go to a number of places and
at least you're not number 1.
see illegal activities. Yes, that's true. Something to strive for.
Congratulations, Gators. All right, that's going to do it for us. Appreciate you joining us. Loaded Up Thursday show, as you would expect. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. God is great.